Good evening and welcome to the 1993 White Bear Lake High School Commencement Program. We are truly delighted to have you join us for this special occasion. One of the unique and positive aspects of our school is the emphasis we place on students. Tonight will be no exception. We selected 5 students to be our featured speakers. Our first student speaker is Jill Dibdall. She has served as chapter treasurer for National Honor Society and has been a member of the cross-country team and track team for 6 years. Next year, Jill plans to attend the University of Notre Dame in South Bend. At this point, her attended major is pre-medicine. Please welcome Jill Dibdall. Jill?
As a member of the 1993 graduating class, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome all faculty and administration, all parents, relatives, and friends, and a special welcome to the 1993 graduating class of White Bear Lake High School. We are here this evening to commemorate, to celebrate, and to congratulate. To commemorate our years together, to remember both the good and the bad times, the happy and the sad. To turn back the clock and reminisce about the days gone by. The 6 years we spent together, preparing for this very moment, when we are all sent in separate directions to lead and be responsible for separate lives. We are here to commemorate the years we've learned together, as well as the years we've grown together. We are here to celebrate not only our graduation, but also, and more importantly, the beginning of a new life. A new life full of opportunities and new experiences. A new life to demonstrate our thankfulness to those who've inspired and helped us by giving back to the community. To take what we have been taught and not only apply it to our own lives, but to share it with others as well. Taking the time to inspire and affirm others, as all those gathered with us tonight have inspired and affirmed us. We are here to congratulate all of the seniors gathered here tonight on their accomplishments. Many are leaving here with scholarships, awards, and various opportunities which will help each of us develop into the best we can become. Each of us possesses a unique and special characteristic which will yield individual success and happiness. The years have passed so quickly. It seems we have spent those years in anticipation of our senior year. Our senior year has come and gone, and at times was spent in even greater expectancy of graduation. Well, graduation is here, but let's forget for the time being what is yet to come and seize this very moment. So to the graduating class of 1993, let's appreciate each other as we enjoy our last night together. In closing, I would like to thank everyone for being here for this very special commencement. We are so happy to have all of you here, for in some way you have each touched our lives. Thank you.
White Bear High School is recognized as one of the finest suburban high schools in Minnesota and the Midwest. Success like this does not happen by accident. One of the enduring strengths of our school and a central reason for its success has been the high quality and outstanding commitment of our faculty. At this time, I ask the teachers who are seated on either side of and behind the graduating class to stand and be acknowledged for their contribution. Teachers? We are extremely fortunate in White Bear Lake to have a Board of Education that provides important policy leadership and a firm commitment to quality schools. At this time, I would like to introduce each member of the Board of Education, asking them to stand and remain standing until all have been introduced. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Let me begin by first introducing retiring trustee Terry Rooney. Terry has served 18 years as a trustee of the White Bear Board of Education. Terry Rooney. Then trustee Duane Dietz, trustee Dottie Hoyle and her husband Richard, trustee Dorothy Rippey, trustee Jeff Mitchell and his wife Heidi, trustee Kevin Edberg, and retiring president of the Board of Education, Joan Knutson. Let's give them a round of applause. Next, I would like to introduce our platform guests. Again, please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Assisting us this evening with the presentation of the Bear Awards will be American Legion representatives William Thine and James Pilazinski, along with his wife Ruth. Next, associate principals from our North Campus, Lucia Weiniger and Ron Nelson. Associate principals from the South Campus, Audrey Buss, Scott Kephart and his wife Vicki, and Kevin Mackin. My colleague and principal of North Campus, Dr. Larry DiNucci and his wife Virgie. Assistant Superintendent of Elementary, Dr. Bob Ash and his wife Marilyn. Assistant Superintendent, Dr. David Balo. And lastly, myself, Ron Tesh, principal at South Campus. Let's give them all a hand. It is now my pleasure to introduce the chairperson of our Board of Education. Joan Knutson has served on the Board of Education for 19 years and has been as president for almost a decade. Joan has also served as president of the Northeast Metropolitan Intermediate School District. Joan is highly regarded for her knowledge, commitment, and leadership, but most of all, she is respected for her advocacy of and her confidence in young people. She has truly earned distinction as a friend and supporter of students. It is my pleasure to introduce Joan Knutson, President of our Board of Education. Joan?
Members of the school board, administration and faculty, parents, friends, and members of the graduating class of 1993. On behalf of the White Bear Lake School Board and community, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this graduation ceremony. We are here tonight to celebrate with you your accomplishments. We do so with great joy, for your achievements have brought you to this stage tonight. I am happy to be a part of a group of people who have watched you grow and mature over the years. Indeed, I probably remember 1980 when you began kindergarten a whole lot better than you do. The old files in my office tell me that when we began that school year, we began with Governor Cui announcing that the state was not receiving the revenues that were anticipated. The school district was in the midst of some very difficult decisions regarding the use of buildings. And the kindergarten enrollment was 485, anticipated to decline yet another year before rising. As I was thinking about this, I started to focus on your beginning in public education, kindergarten. One of my favorite books is Robert Fulgham's All I Really Need to Know, I Learned in Kindergarten. Have you ever thought about the lessons in living that you learned from teachers and your families early in your lives that are still basic and significant? How about play fair, share, don't hit, clean up your own mess, say you're sorry, and my favorite, watch for traffic, hold hands, and stick together. Now you are young men and women who have arrived at another stage in life, one that gives you more independence, yes, but also one that thrusts upon each of you more responsibility. And wouldn't it be great if we remembered to share and be fair, to refrain from striking out harmfully, but saying and being sorry if we did? Wouldn't it be a better place if we all took care of our own things and helped if others did not? And what if we were watchful and caring and held hands with others who were afraid? I have no doubt that you have the basic tools to handle whatever situations that may arise. Doubtless you will have to sharpen these tools periodically. You have the role models, family members, teachers, many others. You also are role models for others, and that is an important position on which you should focus as you assume greater responsibility and accountability. Many times throughout your lives, you will learn that you were role models for someone else when you didn't even know it. So it would be better not to worry too much if you think people do not listen to you. Worry instead that they're always watching you. Don't be afraid to take the big step if one is indicated. After all, you can't cross a chasm in 2 small jumps. Don't lack the courage to be unpopular if that's necessary. Support what is fair and just, standing tall even if others are falling. But remember, extend that rescuing hand whenever you can. Robert Brown once wrote, "Resolve to be tender with the young, listen to the old, be sympathetic with the striving and tolerant of the weak and the wrong. Sometime in life, you have been all of these." Back to kindergarten. Fulgham talks about one of those songs you probably sang at that time, the Itsy Bitsy Spider. Remember the story in the song? The spider, alive and adventurous, crawled up the drain pipe only to be dashed the long way down and out farther than it began by the pelting rain. But then when the sun came out and dried up the rain, what happened? Well, the itsy bitsy spider probably checked the sky, looked for better footholds, and planned better for its ascent and headed up once again toward that faraway light. You have already learned a great deal about goals and perseverance and overcoming hardships and, yes, some of you, even disasters. I can give you one guarantee. You will experience more of those ingredients of life, but the basic tools to deal with them are in your hands. So you are graduating, and that's an ending. Remember I mentioned the old files in my office? Well, I am ending a period in my life, too. But it is also a commencement, which is a beginning for you, certainly, and maybe for me. Let your family members and friends know of your joy tonight, joy stemming from reaching the milestone that you have now reached, and mingled with the emotion surrounding this very significant transition in your life. Tell them how much you appreciate their support and their love and how much you care in return. They deserve to hear that from you, and there is no better time. This evening we honor you as individuals and celebrate your accomplishments. Your community welcomes you and needs you as co-workers in society. We look to you for wisdom, compassion, and courage, for justice and peace, probably to a greater extent than we have shown. As you pursue your commitments in life, I wish for you to have joy in your relationships, in your work, your lifelong learning experiences, and in life itself. On behalf of the entire White Bear Lake School Board, congratulations and best wishes for your happiness and success.
In her earlier comments, Jill Dibdell talked about the importance of commemorating the past. Our next speaker will offer some reflections on the past. Emily Clark is a member of the National Honor Society and has been highly involved with the White Bear High School theater program. Next year, she plans on attending the University of Minnesota at Morris, where she hopes on a double major in both English and theater arts. Her wish is to become a teacher at the secondary level. It's my privilege to introduce to you this evening Emily Clark. Emily?
All children, except one, grow up. On one particular night, Peter Pan, the magical, bewitching, eternal boy, visited the bedroom window of Wendy, John, and Michael Darling to listen to Wendy's bedtime stories. He taught them to fly with a happy thought and a dash of fairy dust, and swept them away to Neverland, a fantasy world where children never grow up. Sometimes, when we're busy growing up, we get so wrapped up in becoming adults that we forget how to be children. We are here tonight to commemorate our growing up years and to try to recapture Peter's childlike innocence that stirs within each one of us. Think back to that moment when there was no difference between make-believe and reality. Our backyards could be turned into New York City, and our underoos could turn us into either Superman or Wonder Woman, ready to bend monkey bars of steel or to leap swing sets in a single bound. We had no doubt that Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy were real, and Mom and Dad had to check the closet for monsters before we could fall asleep at night. By trusting our imaginations, we had more adventures than the Smurfs and more voyages than Gilligan and the Skipper. Now, in older years, a movie theater or a Nintendo Game Boy can still suck us into our own neighborhood of make-believe. We should cherish our imaginations and keep our minds open to every new idea we face. To relive those moments when we believed in everything is impossible, but by using our creativity, we can continue to experience new worlds and fresh beginnings with eager minds. We commemorate the past by trusting our imaginations. Remember when spinning around in circles until we fell down from dizziness was the highlight of our day? A good game of red light, green light could keep our attention for at least a half an hour. And snow. Snow used to be the most amazing miracle around. Each flake is different. Each one is special. And while Dad always complained the day the dandelions popped out in the spring, we used to feel pride in finding the biggest and best one to put in a vase on the dining room table. Exploring wonder and finding beauty in simplicity is an important part of our past and now our future. Ride a merry-go-round sometime. Each carousel is a different color, decorated with round mirrors and painted beads. Candy cane poles help the horses go up and down over and over and over again. With just a touch of carnival music, the riders are off into a race that nobody loses and everyone wins, all for a mere 2 tickets. It's the simple childlike things like learning how to ride a bike or looking at the world from the top of a maple tree that we should keep alive in us. Exploring wonder gives us an appreciation for life. Commemorate our childhood by continuing to explore wonder. As children, we were enticed by a fresh box of color crayons. We each have our own favorite colors, and there's nothing like the way they smell, all paper and waxy and ready to be used. Remember spending hours raking up piles and piles of leaves just to jump in them and spread them all over the lawn again? Or stomping in puddles on rainy Sunday afternoons with our church clothes still on? These are ways to experience playfulness. Look at the smile on a little kid's face when she blows her first bubblegum bubble. It's the childlike qualities that make us human. They help us show our uniqueness and individuality. They teach us to walk and push us to fly. By playing, we can stay young at heart as we grow older. So while we're growing older, we should continue to visit toy stores or play a game of universal frisbee during lunch breaks. We commemorate the past by experiencing playfulness. Tonight we take another step. We're here for one last time as the class of 1993 to move forward into a new grown-up world far away from Peter's Never Never Land. We'll always remember our childhood and high school years, and now, as we keep the child alive inside of us, we step into adulthood and put our past into memory heaven for another day, while trusting our imaginations, exploring wonder, and experiencing playfulness. We continue to grow and learn, never letting a perfect moment pass us by. As someone once said, "I shall pass this way but once. Therefore, any good that I can do, or any kindness that I can show, let me do it now, for I shall not pass this way again." Thank you.
Our next speaker has been involved in a variety of activities throughout his high school years. He has worked in our theater program through his high school years. Next year, he will go off to St. Cloud and major in mass communication. Please welcome our next speaker, Sean Beaverson. Sean?
Congratulations, we've made it. It's June 11th, 1993, and this is the end of our high school years. As sad as it may be, this is the last time we'll be together as a class. Not everyone will continue on to the all-night party. This is our future. This is our time. For the past years, we've been riding a tandem bicycle with our parents in the front and us in the back, pedaling as hard as we could, but not having to worry about which direction to travel in, because our parents took care of that, leading us around the potholes and pitfalls of life and pedaling along with us to give us a little extra push up over the hill. But now, this night, it's time for us to climb out of the back seat that we've grown out of and into the front, grab onto the handlebars with white knuckles, grit our teeth, and ride straight into the unknown. You better believe there's going to be some uphill climbs, some that seem to go straight up. But remember, hills tend to plane off, and more likely than not, on the other side is going to be a downhill where we can kick our feet off the pedals and coast. It doesn't matter what you plan on doing next, whether it be go to VOTEC, community college, work, or a four-year degree. The point is we've made it, and we each have something to contribute to the future, to what lies ahead. Because even though we don't know where we're going, we have general control over the direction. We all have an idea, we all have a voice, we all have a dream. Walt Whitman once questioned on the value of life. "O me, O life, of these questions reoccurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, in the city filled with fools, what good amidst these, O me, O life?" The answer to Mr. Whitman's question is that we're alive. We are each individually important for the mere fact that we breathe. To borrow from Dead Poets Society, that the powerful play goes on and we may contribute a verse. That the powerful play goes on and we, as members of the human race, are compelled to contribute a verse. We, each and every one of us, have a gift, a talent to contribute. We need to share our talents and gifts, otherwise they die unfulfilled. Through this interaction of gifts, our country came about. Where would we be if the men who wrote the Constitution chose not to contribute? Life is a gift, treated as such. Same rules apply as a gift. It's better to give than to receive. Give all you got. We each have set our goals tonight, and now it's time for us to fix our sight on those goals and ride as deliberately as we can towards them. Henry David Thoreau commented on the quality of life. "I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to live deep and suck all the marrow from life, to put to rout all that was not life, so that when I come to die, not to find that I hadn't lived." Live deep and suck all the marrow from life, but never, ever choke on the bone. Ride deliberately. We've got the handlebars tonight. We have to choose our path. Robert Frost. Two paths diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. I challenge you to take the unbeaten path, to cut your own path. For although we don't know what tomorrow holds, a cold, hard truth of life is that we all die. And I pray that when it comes time for us to die, each and every one of you can look back, let out a great, "Oh yeah," and say, "I've lived." My challenge lies in what I've said to you, to ride your bright bike, white knuckles into the unknown and up those hills, to love your life because you're important for the mere fact that you are, to add a verse to life's powerful play, and to live deep and suck all the marrow from life. My challenge to the graduating class of 1993, my fellow classmates, is simple. Make your lives extraordinary. Thank you.
Our third speaker has accomplished many things for our school. She co-chaired the Homecoming Activities Committee, was the senior class secretary, and served as a member of the Student Council. Next year, she plans on going to the University of Wisconsin, River Falls, where she will be a double major in social work and psychology. Please welcome Jennifer Jacklin. Jenny.
I would like each of you to look at the people sitting next to you. Tonight will be the last time that we are together as a class. In the next few years, we'll be heading in different directions, walking down different roads, whether it be the road to college, to a technical school, to a job, or to the armed forces. We will be heading in different worlds, leading different lives. Looking back on all the years at White Bear, I realize this is perfectly summed up in our class poem, Facing Graduation. Faces of old and faces of new, people we know and people we knew, growing together, then drifting apart, always an ending, but now a new start. At graduation, we all grow nearer, and all of our friends seem so much dearer. And as we say our final goodbye, one last embrace and one more cry, I'll keep in touch, and a promise I will. I'll remember when, but better still. I'll place in my heart, you'll always stay. This is what's said as we go our own way. Tonight, we are here to congratulate the graduating class of 1993 and to thank those who've contributed something special to our lives. As we head into different directions, down our different roads, we will always have a common memory we share, our high school years. We all have had special people in our lives, whether they have been our parents, our relatives, our teachers, our friends, or someone who has supported us in one or more ways. It doesn't matter who these people are, it is what they have done for us. These are the people who have seen us in our difficult times and our happy times. They have watched us as children and took note as we grew and matured through the years. We've learned more from these special people than we will probably ever realize. We've learned our values and our morals. I remember when I was 5, my mother and I went to the grocery store. I took a little piece of bubble gum from the big bins of candy. When my mom and I got home, she found out I had taken the piece of gum and put me back in the car and made me return it to the store. During this certain incident, I learned that we shouldn't steal from other people. These are the kinds of things that we learned from these people. I challenge every one of you to thank these special people personally. These people have contributed so much to your life. The least you can do is to thank them for everything they have done. I'd like to take a minute to thank my mom and dad and everyone else in the audience who have come here to see me graduate tonight. You all mean so much to me. As a graduating class, we should also show gratitude to our teachers. Teachers have taught us much more than textbook curriculum. They have taught us lifelong skills, such as to come prepared, to be prompt, to respect others, and to believe in ourselves. Teachers have given us an understanding of life, the knowledge to learn, and the courage to face our problems. We have all had those special teachers in our lives, the ones who seem to become our friends rather than our teachers. One of the many teachers who have become my friend rather than a teacher is Mr. Don Foss. Mr. Foss, who most of us know, taught American Experiment at North Campus. Mr. Foss was so enthusiastic about what he taught that it made me want to learn more from him. But the one thing that made him so special was the fact that he would take time out to talk to us. If any of us ever had a problem, Mr. Foss would always be there to help. I think that is what made him so special. Someone once said, teachers are ordinary people doing extraordinary things. How true that really is. For the past 13 years, we have been with many of the same people. Some of us have been together since kindergarten, and others of us have been going to White Bear for a short period of time. However, our high school experience has given us a sense of security that we have known for so long. But now that we are graduating from high school, we are entering a new phase of our lives. We go out into the world with a fresh start. We are taking our first steps by ourselves, like when we were babies, and we try to take our first steps without our parents. We stumbled, we tripped, we fell, but we never quit. We learned how to walk and even to run. This is the phase we are at now. Most of us will not have the support of our parents next year. It will take some time for us to gain the sense of security back, but that is one of the challenges of our future. Just as we learned how to walk and even to run, we can learn and go on and walk our separate road, our separate lives. We have so many memories from high school that we are taking with us, enough to last a lifetime. We all have shared some common experiences that one day we can tell our children. Most of us have heard our parents talk about their high school days. We all know that line. I remember when I was in high school. The basis of these memories and friendships is what will carry us into that future. In recognition of the contributions of our parents, our teachers, and the other special people in our lives, I would like to ask the graduates to please stand and join me in a round of applause to thank those special people in the audience tonight. I would like to leave you with one last quote by T.S. Eliot. What we call the beginning is often the end, and to make a beginning is to make an end. The end is where we start from. Tonight, our high school graduation is the end from where we start from. I wish each of you good luck and the utmost happiness in your new lives. Thank you.
At this time, I would like James Polinsky, Post Commander of the American Legion Post in White Bear, and Bill Thine, Past Post Commander from the American Legion Post 168, to assist me in presenting the 1993 Bear Awards. The Bear Awards are the highest honors we present, and the names of the recipients are kept secret until this evening. The Bear Awards are made possible through the generous donation of a $50,000 endowment made by the White Bear Lake American Legion Post 168. This endowment allows us to present 3 scholarships to students who best exemplify our school's goal to strive for excellence in the areas of academics, leadership, and school community service. It is now my privilege to present the 3 Bear Awards. The first is for excellence in academics. It's my pleasure to present this to Nicole Vensky. Nikki? That's this is the one right here. We'll all congratulate her, okay? Thumbs up. Please come to this way. The winner of the 1993 Bear Award for Excellence in Leadership is Matthew Grubbs. Matt? See you again. Good luck. And finally, the winner of the 1993 Bear Award for Excellence in School Community Service, Kristen Fisher. Kristen? Congratulations, Kristen. Congratulations. Good little heavy, be careful. Our congratulations to each recipient. Each one receives a $500 scholarship and will have their name inscribed on a special plaque displayed in our atrium. Next, America the Beautiful, which is a tradition at this ceremony, our combined band and choir under the direction of Richard Weiland, Director of Bands, and David Briggs, Director of our choral program. The class of 1993 is truly a special one. This class has earned recognition for scholastic achievement, athletic success, and exceptional performance in co-curricular activities. At this time, I would like to acknowledge three very special people who have worked closely with the senior class. Without their personal commitment and tireless leadership, this year would not have been as successful. Please join me in thanking three individuals: the senior class co-advisors, Harry Mayers, Jean Ruley, and Associate Principal and Coordinator of Student Activities, Scott Kephart. Would you stand up, please? And now it's time for the presentation of the class of '93. Members of the Board of Education, it is my distinct honor to affirm that the students assembled here this evening have met the requirements for graduation as prescribed by the state of Minnesota and the Board of Education of White Bear School District. It is my distinct pleasure to present the graduating class of White Bear High School for 1993. Please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Jill Jeanette Dibdahl.
Lori Marie Bresson.
Emily Ann Clark.
Max Benjamin Christoph.
Sean Beaverson.
Killian Thomas Clark.
Jennifer Lee Jacklin.
Nicole Corcoran.
Kristen Elizabeth Fisher.
Stephanie Cox.
Angela Demony.
Susan Elizabeth Detmer.
William Dirks.
Victoria Heron.
Corinne Marie Gardini.
David Kaczynski.
Mark Kovacic.
Jennifer Lauren Kurzweg.
Joel Christopher Kerpius.
Jennifer Ann Mampel.
Jeffrey Matthew Maher.
Sarah Beth Parsons.
Jeremy David Neitz.
Daniel Peisart.
David R. Paulson.
Elliot John Patrick Sather.
Jeffrey Thomas Sandstrom.
Stephanie Weitz.
Nicole Aaron Vinsky.
Nadine Yasmin Abdallah.
Nathan Asmus.
Elson Abraham.
Elizabeth Karen Abel.
Jason Ames.
Rebecca Jean Ackman.
Jennifer Anderson.
Carrie Joe Anderson.
Pamela Anderson.
Mitchell James Anderson.
Jesse Ashton.
Tanya Marie Anderson.
Amy Lynn Oje.
Herman Audette,
Kelly Baker,
Kimberly Bailey,
Tanya Marie Beckius,
Stephanie Mary Bangert,
Stephanie Bender,
Jennifer Sue Beckvar,
William Michael Bennett,
Danette Bennett,
Anthony L. Benshouf,
Scott Donald Benyon,
Amy Berglund,
Matthew Robert Berg,
Deborah Marie Bernier,
Mark Burgum,
Amy Lynn Bavacqua,
Dominic Scott Burnson,
Sandra Marie Beaver,
Alan P. Bebo,
Tricia Gabrielle Blake,
Jill Ann Billings,
Christopher Bloomer,
Jason Blanchard,
Nicole Lee Bloom,
David Bloomberg,
Andrew Bogenholm,
Jason Beckers,
Nicole Boland,
Stephen M. Bone,
Timothy Botker,
Corey Borden,
Tracy Lynn Burgoyne,
Jeannie Boucher,
Alice May Braun,
Bob Dion Brault,
Camel Jean Brody,
Adam Breheim,
Brian Lee Brown,
Eric Brooker,
Alethea Violet Brownlee,
Gary E. Brown,
Jason Carroll,
Anna M. Bruce,
Tori Marie Brugman,
Kirk Burback,
Jill Burkett,
Chad Burmeister,
Jennifer Burry,
Benjamin Joseph Butters,
Elizabeth Angela Carlson,
Kristen Marie Carroll,
Scott R. Carlson,
Scott Gregory Carlson,
Juan L. Cartagena,
Craig Carpenter,
Andrew Chaffee,
Amy Sue Chafee,
Jill Marie Shavy,
Amy Chambers,
Justin Christensen,
Ryan Christensen,
Angela Jean Sinkowski,
Chad Christensen,
Matthew Thomas Cleary,
Melissa Ann Clausen,
Jill N. Colburn,
Renee Lynn Cloutier,
Carrie L. Coupet,
Gina Marie Kolova,
Ryan Lee Kramer,
Sean Cordell,
Angela L. Curtis,
Joshua Crenshaw,
Joshua Stephen Doherty,
Oliver Hanslin Damsbo,
Justin Denio,
Sharon Ann DeLong,
Brian J. Denzer,
Anne Marie Danucci,
Leah L. Doima,
Gail Dion,
Robert R. Douglas,
Nathaniel Arvin Dornfeld,
Christy Lynn Doxey,
Catherine June Downing,
Jennifer Elizabeth Duda,
Sadie Duchesne,
Daryl Duque,
Mark S. Duffy,
Annika Dagmar Ebo,
Kimberly Doomer,
Deborah Ann Elias,
Carrie Lynn Eisinger,
Ginger Marie Emiott,
John Robert Elliott,
Matthew Everson.
Kelly Ann Erickson.
Keith Fanslow.
Andrew Falk.
Brian Felland.
Victor Michael Fant.
Erica Robin Ferret.
Janelle Sarah Ferguson.
Angela Christine Fletcher.
Jennifer Lee Fuchs.
Shannon Marie Fletcher.
Rebecca Catherine Fletcher.
Sean Douglas Ford.
Angie Rochelle Ford.
Matthew Franco.
Ryan Fournier.
Matthew Douglas Frost.
Erin Michelle Fresnick.
Jessica Fulton.
Daniel James Fry.
Bridget Patricia Gaffney.
Ryan Aaron File.
Daniel Michael Gallatin.
Angie Ray Gagne.
Amy Marie Gann.
Christopher Colin Gangle.
Andrew Stephen Gatlin.
James Richard Gary.
Shiloh Angela Garrity.
Joseph Michael Gavin.
Wanda K. Glines.
Anthony Geisen.
Jody Gove.
Danielle A. Gilbertson.
Kimberly Joe Gress.
Amy Lee Gomez.
Paul Haanen Jr.
Lachelle D. Green.
Chad Hager.
Matthew Grubbs.
Stephanie Lynn Handlos.
Amy Ann Hamlin.
Christopher Glenn Hansen.
Chad T. Hansen.
Christy Joe Hansen.
Amy Hansen.
Tammy Gail Hansen.
Randy Gale Hansen.
Sarah Hargesheimer.
Emily Susanna Harding.
Brenda Christine Hain.
Susan Elizabeth Harper.
Tricia K. Heaver.
Brian Heath.
Robert Heffron.
Kimberly Heffron.
Jason Hempel.
Adam Haney.
Chad Henschel.
Eric Hennig.
Virginia Humacher.
John Herbert.
Catherine Megan Hoyle.
Matthew Hill.
Sally Christine Hook.
Jamie Holty.
Deanne Noel Howard.
Jonathan Andrew Hornberger.
Jody Lynn Hudapole.
Stacy May Hubbard.
John Charles Hubscher.
Jason Hubscher.
Carol Dawn Inman.
Laura M. A. Hunter.
Kristen Marie Jacqueline.
Jody Lynn Isaacson.
Gina Marie Jarko.
Miles Jansen.
Christina Marie Jarvis.
Paul Jerombeck.
Joy Michelle Jensen.
Anna Ogard Jensen.
Eric G. Johnson.
Anne Margaret Johnson.
John Johnson.
Eric R. Johnson.
Teresa K. Johnson.
Christopher Johnson.
Michael Jonas.
Jill Marie Johnstone.
Allison Jean Joyce.
Jeffrey Jones.
George D. Kellerman.
Jennifer Marie Kell.
Brian James Kelsey.
Kristen Ann Kelly.
Carrie Christina Kern.
Becky Marie Kent.
Andrew Kill.
Tori Kilbasa.
Carrie Kish.
Mary Alexandra Kingsley.
Sonia Knobloch.
Tabitha Ann Kistner.
Carrie Jean Kokeisel.
Jennifer Ann Kosey.
Mark David Kanzum.
Laura Kolaji.
Melinda Kruger.
Ryan Douglas Kozar.
Matthew Coomer.
Jason Edward Kuchenmeisker.
Michael Labossiere.
Lance Kunze.
Brian Lagergren.
Christopher John Labar.
Jamie Larkin.
Cara Noel Lambert.
Anna Marie Tiffany Larson.
Leah Therese Larson.
Christine Marie Larson.
Chad Larson.
LaDonna Larson.
Courtney Karen Larson.
Mary Catherine Lahed.
Shauna Larson Lee.
Kyle Leyenbauer.
Matthew Carl Law.
Beth Marie Letourneau.
Lisa Ray Larkey.
Nicole Suzanne Lewandowski.
Dana Lynn Lewandowski.
Meredith Lynn Lindorf.
Laura Marie Lindholm.
Steve Lofgren.
Troy R. Livesey.
Laura Lee Lorenzen.
Chad Locken.
James Lyon.
Brian Van Allen Lubo.
Joseph Patrick Madden.
W. Scott MacDonald.
Holly Elizabeth Major.
Mark Madden.
Amy Mandel.
Jennifer Momstead.
Amy Jo Marks.
Brian Mann.
Aaron Marshall.
John Marquis.
Jason McCain.
Christine Matchke.
Philip James McClurg.
Jeffrey J. McClure.
Jennifer Elizabeth McCoy.
Douglas McCormick.
Amy Ann McElmurray.
Robert John McDermott.
Joel Patrick McFarland.
Robert Thomas McElmurray II.
Christopher S. McInerney.
Daniel McGath.
Jacob McKegg.
Michelle J. McCain.
Angela Marie McKinnon.
Craig Michael McKinney.
Colleen Shea McSorley.
Benjamin George McPhillips.
John Mykert.
Brian Moline.
Michael Millington.
Michonne Milkey.
Mark Mitchell.
Annalisa Miller.
Janelle Andrea Moll.
Ryan Mims.
Jess Monahan.
Denise Momsen.
Jason Montgomery.
Chad Monson.
Courtney Morse.
Cara Christina Morrison.
Marcia Jean Malarkey.
Eric Mortar.
Christine Netto.
David Brent Mulder.
Carrie Ann Newman.
Christopher Myers.
Kyle Newmaster.
April M. Nellison.
Jason Nordby.
Aaron Noyes.
Julie Lynn Noreen.
Jennifer Ann Newstrand,
John North,
Linda Nilsson,
Carolyn O'Hagan,
Brett Norman,
Kirsten Ullman,
Deborah J. Noose,
Shannon K. Omvig,
T.C. O'Malley,
Tanya Marie Otteson,
April Rose Mary Olson,
Jonathan Carson Pash,
Melissa Oswald,
Jennifer Peranto,
Hannah Overly,
Jennifer Parnell,
Stephen Pangaro,
Nathan Pearl,
Aaron Thomas Parker,
Joel Peck,
Christine Ann Payette,
Jesse Perry,
Christopher Matthew Pearson,
Jeffrey David Peterson,
Michael Peloquin,
Donald J. Peterson Jr.,
Dean Perzakilli,
Teresa Marie Peterson,
Brian Peterson,
Brian Keith Petruszewski,
Sarah Amanda Peterson,
Jason Patopa,
John Matthew Hart Phillips,
Carla Polito,
William Joseph Pofra,
Rahu Rakala,
Christopher Michael Price,
Robert Michael Ray,
Jennifer Amy Pusey,
Michael Ryland,
Sarah Lynn Ratz,
David Gunnar Reimer,
Andrea Marie Reed,
Barbara Ravor,
Denise Marie Riley,
Erin Elizabeth Rickle,
Tamara Renwick,
Keely Kristen Robinson,
John Rhodes,
Heather May Rode,
Sean Rivet,
Christopher Rose,
Stephanie Robinson,
Joanna Rutherford,
Tracy Lynn Rhodey,
Jennifer Salisbury,
Lori Ann Ruderman,
Sean Sandberg,
Joe Rutch,
Cassandra Sawaki,
Heidi Jo Sampson,
Angelo Shearer,
Aaron Sandquist,
Tamara Schlecht,
Sean Sawyer,
Lynette Scholler,
Mark Scott Schermerhorn,
Gary Schulte,
Jennifer Robin Schmelz,
Angelique Schur,
Kimberly Ann Schrakta,
Anthony Lawrence Schwartz,
Molly Marie Schultz,
Janelle Schwartz,
Theodore Schuster,
Pamela Salisker,
Eric Paul Schwartz,
Sarah Beth Shevick,
Brenda Selby,
Jennifer Sikora,
Maro Saratka,
Natasha L. Simpson,
Charles A. Schreider Colson,
Jennifer Ray Skinner,
Bridget Marie Suberniger,
Michelle Renee Scoriantz,
Derek Sky,
Michelle M. Slade,
Jeremy Shegstead,
Lisa Marie Smith,
Shannon Scripp,
Beth Snelson,
Justin Smith,
Leanne Marie Sontag,
Tammy Jean Smith,
Patricia Lynn Sorensen,
Pamela Snyder,
Michael Specht,
Amanda Sorensen,
Heather Rose Stassen,
Jessica Susan Sorg,
Lisa Ann Stelter,
Lonnie Stye,
Sean Stevens,
Amy Lynn Steensland,
Trice Strokirch,
Susan May Stuernagel.
Catherine Svensson.
Amy Stratton.
Matthew David Sweeney.
Roberta Subiti.
Stephanie Sykes.
Jamie Ann Swanson.
J. Scott Thomas.
Brian Swenson.
Tasha Teresa Thompson.
Matthew Taylor.
Jennifer Thury.
Stacy Thompson.
Carrie A. Trad.
Shane Thompson.
Christopher R. Cheetah.
Julie Teresa Tovson.
Kari Urban.
Jacob Triple.
Lindsay Valencia.
Sean Troth.
Christine Ann Van Daneker.
Stephanie Ann Underwood.
Brian Thomas Vanderpool.
Kelly Vale.
Alexandre Van Grutenbro.
Mary Louise Valento.
Benjamin J. Vincent.
Clifford Dale Vanderheiden.
Brian Peter Wagner.
Pav Vang.
Rebecca Walstead.
Jeffrey Paul Vernon.
Allison Jean Watkins.
Sean Wagner.
Derek Weinrich.
Tracy Tromzak.
Robin Ann Wirt.
Don Warling.
Angela Marie Wynn.
Nathan A. Weigel.
Joseph Whitcup.
Sarah Welchek.
Jason Todd Waller.
Roger Wilsey Jr.
Vaughn Vang. Mandy Yarborough.
Cindy Marie Weisner.
Heather Ann Ziem.
Christine Willashen.
Lisa Anderson.
Yua Yang.
Peter E. Johnson.
Ye Yang.
Brett McKenzie.
David Donald Zupan.
Pat Walsh. Matt Schusler.
Emily M. Zaft. Julie Conan. Troy Kuhn. Scott David Patsy. Chad J. Jungers.
At this time, I would like to introduce our final speaker for the evening. Kristen Fisher has served as delegate at large for the Minnesota Association of Student Councils, Capital Division. Next year, she is attending the University of St. Thomas to pursue a career in broadcast journalism. Please join me in a warm welcome for Kristen Fisher.
As we prepare ourselves to go forth into the world in pursuit of our dreams and aspirations, we are faced with many challenges and obstacles. Our world is constantly changing, and it is finally our turn to make a difference. We are the future. It is now up to us to find the cures, to write the novels, to invent the devices, to compose the concertos, to improve the technology, and to lead the nation. We are responsible for tomorrow and all of the challenges it will present us. It's exciting to think that we are beginning the rest of our lives tonight. We have shared so many fun times together, and now those times are memories. We are ready to move on to new experiences and adventures. What direction are you going? Do you have your next 8 years planned already, from college to grad school to spouse and family? Or are you just going to go wherever time takes you? Or are you somewhere in between? Whatever direction you have chosen, go for it. Work your hardest, be your best, and don't settle for anything. You deserve the best, so why not claim what you deserve? What good are dreams and aspirations if you settle less than you'd hoped for? There's a poem I'd like to read to you entitled My Teen Years by an unknown author. It's not enough to have a dream unless I'm willing to pursue it. It's not enough to know what's right unless I'm strong enough to do it. It's not enough to join the crowd, to be acknowledged and accepted. I must be true to my ideals, even if I'm excluded and rejected. It's not enough to learn the truth unless I learn to live it. It's not enough to reach for love unless I care enough to give it. Class of 1993, our time is now. Remember fondly the past as we commemorate our childhood memories. Congratulate all of the special people that have made an impact on our lives, and celebrate the excitement and anticipation of moving into the future. Accomplish great things. Claim your prize. Make the difference. As I conclude, I want to leave you with my favorite quote by Les Brown. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss it, you'll land among the stars. Good luck and best wishes to you all. Thank you.